Greetings, fellow Royal Empire members. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Pilgrim ship. Episode 21, The Frog That Mechs Want to Frag. Alright, we can launch the ship again. So, here we go. These 5 mercenaries are going to be volunteered to go through the facility. Because they can die of no consequence, so why would I care about them? And then we have Toad that will have to feed drugs. An infestation. Okay, we'll just stand right there. I'm sure you'll be able to deal with it. No problem, right? So we've got 3 more hermetic crates, and then some consoles to hack. The other thing I probably ought to do is to destroy one of the walls so that we can move there, you know, so it's not super hot, because it's the center here is getting a little toasty. Because if any of these guys get knocked out, I can rescue them for reputation. So, like, I actually want them unconscious. I benefit from it. Plus, it's good medicine training. So, speaking of which, God, our stockpile, I really need to sell some stuff. Let's go ahead and break fire. Put 2 beds down, and we're going to be rescuing some folk. And they did just successfully destroy a insect hive, so I got the mood bonus from that. Toad is paralyzed, got a rescue it. Yep, is suicidal, is right out here, incapacitated, cannot move, cannot crawl, and is paralytic abasia. So let's put a animal sleeping spot here, I guess. This is suicidal's spot. Got uranium, herbal. This room's a little spicy. Where are you going? You're cowering? Wait, what are you... Oh, there's a bug out there. Okay. So, suicidal's being watched for 15 days. But is not... I don't have to keep them on this map tile necessarily. Break fire. Let's tend to these idiots before they bleed over the throne room. And I mean, I've heard of blood for the blood god, but like, I don't think they meant like that. And similarly, Luya here is going to be rescued as well. And I really only want the credit for it from the Deuter cities, so that they like me more. So that we can call in favors. You know, extorting people to owe us favors. Totally our deal. Alright, switch who you're tending. And then go back. Alright, the last console is this one. And then we're done. Hey, See to Keep. Thank you for the cheer and the resub. Okay, we now have 2 pieces of information about the Longblade. The legendary Longblade that Liara wants. Ink. Now that Liara is fully healed, I am going to do the eye installation. Does the toad need tending? No, it just needs feeding. So it needs, like, animal handling. Or actually doctoring, truth be told. Okay. And Ink's eye is fixed. Who just tried to convert me? I'll kill you. The people that could die of no consequence, you guys can sleep here, I guess, with the toad. Two of them have real beds, but the rest don't. Again, not my problem. Now, the other thing is, I think if I launch with them alive, it counts as me abducting them. So it would have been better had they died fighting that insect hive, technically speaking. Because I'm at a bit of a disadvantage now that they haven't died. Because, like, I can't leave this tile until they're dead. So if we do get attacked by a mech hive and the mech hive is nasty, it's in my advantage to have these guys die off so that I can, like, leave the map tile. If I'm not mistaken, I can double check. I'll try to do a launch and see what it says. Alright, in terms of your food, no drugs. You can read. And then, as far as your medicine goes, just tending. Now, we could carry out the base attack. Personally, I think it would be smart to have one person shield belted for the base attack, meaning that, like, Mag, who has a passion of melee, would use the breach axe, and then Aram's shield belt. But I would like to do that base attack. The other thing is, I'm going to give Liara the Shock Lance, and the reason for the thought behind this is if I find a person that I want to recruit, Liara has Skip, which allows me to position the person that I want captured more easily. So even though the Orbital Bombardment Targeter is, like, obviously a better attachment, she can recruit with that lance. I mean, there's a chance for, like, brain damage, but, like, you know, whatever. So, the base attack. We had potentially thought of getting Evan, who is another kind, social, potential slave or colonist. So, what reward for the base attack? Honor or Evan? And in terms of honor, what it will do for Liara? Liara right now is a Baron 4. So that would make her a Baron 10, halfway to Archon. Archon is 20. I do not trust this cougar. So, guess who can die of no consequence? Guess what? There's cougars in my area, and I demand you kill it. Also, good to know that Sana has a low shield pack. If things get sweaty, I can just have her trigger. Your vac suit helmet is busted. Let's give you a fresh one. And then Luya is starving, but not anymore. Alright, it does look like Evan wins by small margin for the base attack. So, let's do that. The other thing I wanted to do is, we are going to need to convert Evan. So I'm going to have to make another makeshift prison, just like I did before, on the other side. So that Evan can be shown the light of Liara. Mag and Liara are going. It would have been better had Liara had a little bit more psi focus, but I think we'll be fine either way. So the current priority is look after Suicidal. And then once the base attack is done, we'll see if it restricts me to this map tile or not. Oh, it's chilly here. Where is your... Oh, here's your base. So you are all melee. Oh, well, that's going to be a joke. Do you have turrets? You don't even have turrets? Is this even a fight? Or is this just like a way to cheer up Liara to get her, like, kill count up? Killed someone. Okay. We win. Yo, I'm not, like, done. You get over here. Now, potential recruit. Sanguine aesthetic great memory. Who can shoot is 16 years old. Oops. Did you keep your brain? Yep. What about the other one? Undergrounder, unwaveringly loyal, so I don't really care about the other one. Got it. Nope, the other one's dead. The first two pawns, if you're wondering, unwaveringly loyal and pyromaniac, so I didn't miss anyone. If that was the, I'm assuming that was the question. And carry Haplo to shuttle. I might as well pick up the fine meals. I don't really care about the rest of the stuff. Well, I'll check the rooms, but I don't care about like the components or steel in the facility, because components of steel are easy to come by. Done. Well, we ended up with another prisoner. One of the problems I foresee is I don't really have a good place for said prisoner. I don't love moving my batteries into the throne room, but, like, I will, because I don't really have a ton of other choices here. And then Evan, of course, needs to be arrested to be shown the way of Liara, which we'll do in just a minute here. So this is a prison. Nope, not yet, actually. Evan, you are already crafting. I guess, technically, that's kind of what I want you eventually to do. But you're going to become a prisoner first, because you believe in the wrong things, friend. Mag, I don't want you finishing that, because I'm sure the other bed was bad quality due to you doing that. Alright, so if we want Evan to be arrested, I have a 100% chance he won't resist. Fine, that works. And you are going to be converted first. Cool. What happened to the... Oh, there's Haplo. And Haplo also did not resist. And you also will be converted. So Haplo is sanguine ascetic great memory. Ascetics are really easy to have on your ship because you can put them in a 2x1 bedroom, basically a nothing, and they're fine. And he does have shooting, shooting, and potentially he could be a production specialist for construction and art. So there's a lot of colonist potential there. Question for you guys. Evan. Does Evan... So, of the three people we have, you did decide that Jane becomes a full-fledged colonist. Evan. Does Evan become a full-fledged colonist? What to do with Evan? Colonist... slave. So in terms of positions to fill, we want a Chamberlain who should have high social, and we want at least one production specialist who should have high craft. Jane and Evan basically have the same crafting skill, and Jane will sleep less, but they're both kind. So Jane probably has an edge on that, but she is 54, so she might come with age-related problems eventually down the line. Only time will tell. Oh, I'm that bad on power? Oh, I know why that happened. Because, yeah, duh. When they're turned off... There we go. Are you on a insult spree against my prisoner? Dude, you're gonna make my life so much harder. The other thing I wanted to check is, can we launch without it counting as abduction? We can. Okay. So if the mech hive lands here and it gets spicy, we can just like leave and it's fine. That's good to know. Well, Evan's mood is going to be a little rough. Alright, the only one I want hunting is Breakfire. Because Mag is a brawler at the moment. And I think I'll probably keep Mag as a brawler. Because I, lost my brawler. So I don't really see a change for her. Hey, Zolblader, thank you for the resub. Good point. Bug corpse is in the freezer. No, they won't be. Yeah, there's no space left for stuff. The TLDR is like, we need transfer pods or something, because it's getting crowded. We have a lot of things to give away, but we have had no, like, caravan opportunities or anything like that. Oh, I see why power access is all wrong. I need chem fuel. Alright, one thing we could do is all stones that are not vac stones, I can leave behind. I don't need to keep them. I honestly didn't even want them. So, raw resource, stone blocks that are not vac, get dumped out here. Katsumi, you're still insulting Evan? What the hell? Oh, well, we've maxed out at minus 10 insults, but he's been insulting Evan for, like, an entire day. How rude. The other thing is I could max out some shelf space. I could put, this small shelf as a double shelf. What is the... Yep, and marble is a natural chunk here, so I'll do that. So I'll try to, add additional storage here. But I'm not really intending to grow it out anymore, so I'm not taking feedback about that. Basically, it is what it is. I don't intend to have, like, such a massive, ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Such a massive stockpile. Oh, come on. Paste. Low. And Evan finally went berserk. So he's going to be punching Haplo, I'm assuming? Or not. Try to keep your limbs. Try to keep your arm. And he's downed. Is the starvation intentional? I guess you weren't noticing. The person that was starving was on an insult spree for like a day straight. So... it's not a... I don't know how to answer that question. Without sounding too rude, try to use your observational powers to figure out why something is happening. Because if it's out of my control, mentioning it is not helpful. When people have mental breaks, they starve. That's just the way the game works. Alright, you obviously want Evan to be a slave. Copy that. What about Haplo? So Haplo here is sanguine, ascetic, great memory, and, you know, got them passions. So shooting, construction, animals, art, and intellectual. And so Suicidal's here for 13 more days. Truth be told, we don't really need to sit here any longer. We can, like, leave. There really isn't a good food source on this map tile. There's not, like, interesting things to mine anymore. So heading to a grav core or something might make more sense. If I headed to a grav core, the problem is both of them happen to be in space, and therefore the temporary loaned workers, or whatever you want to call them, are, like, not going to be particularly helpful unless I dress them up. Because if I use them as, like, cannon fodder, they'll just die. They'll suffocate. Or vacuum burn. Specifically. So I don't have a good grav core to go to with them that won't just have them dead. What ended up happening? Oh. So, I could try, like, an old ancient complex and see about... I wish there was, like, a fight I could take. Because what's happening right now is, like, I don't really want them, right? But there isn't an active fight that I could initiate to get sort of rid of them. So then I'm sort of stuck with them unless I want to just, like, murder them outright. But I'd rather have them as, like, meat tanks. But there's just not a scenario where they're benefiting me as a meat tank. So it's like, I guess I just wait and see when we can get rid of them. One thing I realized I could do is, here, Sana, you're gonna sleep there. Let's put couches in the room here. Aram with a shoot frenzy, yeah, that makes sense. You know, the slave that is not allowed to fight has a frenzy. I could do the enemy console, but it's not meaningful. It's not like a meaningful use of them. I want them to serve a purpose and die with purpose, than to be thrown away. I had intended to replace the marble table, so maybe I'll continue stone cutting for the marble. I could even replace the pin and the chess as well. But at the moment, they're just like freeloaders eating a lot of food and not offering us much in the way of value, because they don't do any other work. Okay, so Haplo is going to be a colonist. So we have 2 potential colonists and a slave. Got it. Alright. If we don't end up doing that, here's what we'll do. Let's launch... And... Ooh, I have a chem fuel thing. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to try to get as close to Deuter cities as possible so I could potentially do a trade. But I'm not able to launch anywhere that looks good. So I think what I'll do is I'll go somewhere that has high food. Horse habitat and a coast. That will work. And stockpile up on chem fuel. Because the orbital beacons are above us, I'm still sort of in the rough vicinity, and we'll build up our chem supplies so that we can hit them up. once the guests here are dead or I'm done with the quest. A horse habitat with buffalo. Got it. Well, one thing I could do. I do want Tinctoria on my ship. So before I land, I was thinking of putting the rich fertile soil here so that ink can grow Tinctoria easily. And I think I'll do that. I will point the ship down, though. Oh, I see. There's, do it like that. And then there's, I guess, there is stuff to hunt, but they're not horses. But yeah, I can manually hunt with the guests because they can't actually do hunting, but I can, like, force them to hunt anyway. So the concept here is I would like to start dyeing the ship purple. But I only want to dye the parts of the ship purple that that are made of uranium. The other thing I would like to do is dye the throne room purple because I really, really have a fierce dislike of jade coloring. The green is, like, awful. So get rid of the jade, too. Alright, in terms of ores here, let's take a look. We have got no ore, no compacted steel, no jade. Alright. Well, I checked. So we do have a nice stockpile of uranium. We've got 869 uranium from that the 2 hops ago. Oh, and we have information about... So it's a tribal village. The tribal villages you can't land at, so I'd have to caravan in. So it would be ideal to have a shuttle before we bother with that one. So I'll probably hold off on that Longblade quest until we have shuttles. More than likely. Our guests, who can die of no consequence, are actually remarkably happy given their current sleeping situation, I must say. With that in mind, it wouldn't hurt for RM to try for higher quality beds, and then I can keep the ones I like and ditch the ones I don't. And then offer the guests beds so they're less fussy, because that really doesn't cost me very much. I didn't, however, park anywhere close to steel, which is a little unfortunate, but, like, oh well. Excellent, good, and good. Alright, that will do. We'll put a bed here, a bed here, and a bed here. Yeah, they're getting inspirations and everything. It's kind of funny. There we go. So now they have somewhere to sleep. It will slow down our crafting time because this is a barracks and not a workshop anymore, but oh well. Okay, let's get some meat. First things first, a wolf hanging out around the ship. That's not gonna fly. Man, these buffalo knew exactly where to run. Alright, herd revenge, but it's only 3. That's good for now. I don't want to get so many that we... Well, alright, flip side. Chem fuel from organics forever. And we'll just keep grinding through the meat that we butcher. And, because it seems like there's just a lot to hunt on this tile. Plus there is fish, even though I'm not that close to the shore. They're just getting crazy shoot frenzies. No. By default, it uses veg, not meat, but obviously it's way more annoying to source vegetables on a starship. Now, one of the other advantages that I could use is we have a lot more participant count for things. So I could give, like, leader speeches, throne speeches, etc., and really benefit from them because we have a lot more people in attendance. Oh my god. Insulted me, holding me prisoner, minus 100. Yep. Hate. Ink is assigned to grow. She's just... Well, I'll take her off of cleaning duty, but she's just simply too busy to do it at the moment, because she's also doing all the butchering. Atla was one of the other cooks, and, well, Atla is no more, so... Hostility for profit. Well, this could be a good way to get rid of them. However, I will get 10 Jan under my control that could die of no consequence. I like how this is a psychic sensitizer. Do we accept... So it's 2 groups of, like, 35 each? That's, like... It's doable. I think the way to do that, honestly, is to pivot and get autocannon turrets, to put autocannon turrets on our ship before we do it. But the question is, do we accept hostility for profit? It wouldn't... It would put me pretty close... 12 honor would put me pretty close to my Archon ship, which is max. That would bring me up to like 16 out of 20. But we would need to make some improvements to the ship before we did something like that. Yeah, our chem tanks are pretty low. Hospital bed's done. And seeing that you guys are voting yes, I'm going to start researching autocannon, knowing that I'm going to need them prior to that quest. I also don't really have, like, space for 10 more temporary visitors. But I'll figure that out. Alright, this is whole herd. No problem. So this is... They arrive in 5 days. So if I accept with 5 days left of Poor Suicidal, it kind of works out perfectly. Which means accepting hostility for profit right at the buzzer, and then it will overlap with the Frog quest. And it will also give me a decent amount of time to get the research done that I want. So I'm going to reduce the psi focus needed so that I can focus on research. On top of that, I have a feeling like Mag's going to be better as a shooter than a brawler in this upcoming fight, because she doesn't really have any armor, so brawling is probably out of the question. So I'll put her back as a gunner. Oh, gross. I do have a low shield pack. Yeah, well, we'll low shield pack kill that in the morning. Evan has converted. So Evan is going to be enslaved. He has a will of 0, so it will be instant. Hoplo has a ways to go. And then if we have Evan converting, I guess I'll just move his bed. Well, his bed kind of sucks. So I'll build another bed over there. Except right now and have the raiders take care of it? That's not a terrible idea, but I would need to wake it up first. But yeah, that would work too. I think have an animal pulsar, don't I? No, maybe I don't. No, I don't think I do have an animal pulsar. Yeah. Let's have the crossbow crows deal with it. Oh my god. 10 more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is, getting kind of stupid. Don't touch my drugs. You don't get medicine. If we are going to accept this quest... So here's where my head's at. The problem I see is we are going to want the crossbow crows to have no valid targets outside of the mechs, but my ship is full of valid targets. It has engines outside, it has wall lamps outside. So what I might end up doing is temporarily moving things. Moving the engines inside and like bricking up the entryway so that I can leave at a moment's notice and protect my my ship structure. Basically make some jerry-rigged temporary setups so that my ship is less targeted from attackers. I think that's the smart play. A temporary external wall could work, but I don't have a ton of building materials outside of Vaxstone, and I don't want to waste my Vaxstone like that. Whereas this is, like, pretty easy to do. Just moving some engines in. I don't even need all the engines installed. I just need the, just enough to, like, get liftoff. Right, I've got most of my engines in anyway. Evan just got enslaved. So, Evan, your slave clothing, no drugs. I'm gonna let the slaves read anything. Hold herbal meds. We are gonna have a giveaway timer, so timer is up above my head. In terms of work priorities, you are... So, I don't think he's going to be our crafts person, because he can't become a production specialist. So he's mostly for mining and making chem fuel. But for now, because we don't have a production specialist, I can put him in charge of tailoring. Oops. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna look a little dumb. No, I'm just gonna uninstall these engines. Or, those engines specifically might be able to be guarded more easily. We'll see. Yeah, a lot of quest cannon fodder up there. No kidding. Alright, Evan, this steel bed's going to get broken down. We're definitely running out of space for stuff. I really want, like, a trade caravan coming, but I'm just not having any luck to that end, and there's no one to call. I think a transport pod would be helpful, just to, like, pod things to a neighbor. But there's not even, like, an ally nearby that we want to befriend anyway at the moment. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Odyssey, the Pilgrim ship, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow Liara faithful.